are ingrained in being able to do what the organization does. And that's where we do look for your support in that. And having this Fill the Can challenge, I'm so excited to hear where we ended up at the end of this. And, there is a traveling trophy. Whoever raised the most money this year will get to have that traveling trophy on location for this coming year to have, got to give bragging rights to those who actually came out on top. So stay tuned. Sometime in the next few weeks here, we will be getting getting the results of who the winner was. And in the end, Project Die Hard really will be the winner here of, and I say that kind of tongue in cheek, but being the recipient of that support, that needed support. We are so grateful to all who stepped up to be locations, who stepped up to coordinate, to do all the things that go into putting together this kind of a fundraiser. Huge thanks to all of those who were involved in this, and got to keep coming back, because somewhere soon in an upcoming Monday night mission update, you will find who is the winner. It's coming, but not tonight. So got to give you a little tease here to keep you coming back, right? I do want to share some pieces that are very practical to Project Die Hard specifically. For anybody who is new and is not familiar with what we all have all the things, I am going to do something very basic right now, and I am bringing up our website, projectdiehard.org. So this is our website. You can see right on there. It's easy to reach out. Contact at projectdiehard.org. I will also share with you, obviously. Oh my goodness, I'm got to make sure I stay on my page that I'm sharing. I will also mention my personal email address is susan@projectdiehard.org. I know it's easy to reach us. Brian did a great job of putting together very simple, very intuitive ways to reach out through email. We are a faith-based, scripture-led 501c3 organization and a true veteran nonprofit. Know that any money that is donated to this organization is used for the mission. Our mission statement: bring hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. Project Die Hard, we are all about serving our veteran community and their families. I'm just going to read right through this for anyone who's not able to see this. Hopefully you can actually hear this. So Project Die Hard aims to change this tragic statistic by advocating for increased funding for mental health resources and research, as well as creating an open dialogue about mental health struggles faced by veterans. Through events, campaigns, and social media engagement, the organization is by raising awareness and educating communities about veteran challenges. Project Die Hard envisions a world where no veteran feels isolated or hopeless. Equally important is Project Die Hard's commitment to assisting veterans in rebuilding their lives after service. And here I can bring right up, it's on the screen here. Veterans eat free of charge at Project Die Hard Fellowship Breakfast. Again, the first Wednesday of the month from 7 until 7:30 a.m. All veterans eat for free. And this again is at the IHOP in Paducah, Kentucky. So a sponsorship of $500 would include your logo on a banner, social media exposure, a 1-minute commercial on this, our podcast, and also on our Project Die Hard website listing. So this is an amazing opportunity, and encourage you to join in. We also do have a statement of faith listed right on the website. So the mission statement of, again, bring hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. Our statement of faith: that the Bible to be the inspired, the only infallible, authoritative word of God, that there is only one God, eternally existent in 3 persons, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, that in the deity and humanity of Christ, in his virgin birth, in his sinless life, in his miracles, in his vicarious and atoning death through his shed blood, in his bodily resurrection, in his ascension to the right hand of the Father, in his present rule as head of the church, and in his personal return in power and glory, that for the salvation of lost and sinful men, regeneration by the Holy Spirit is absolutely essential, that in the present ministry of the Holy Spirit, by whose indwelling the Christian is enabled to live a godly life, that in resurrection of both the saved and the lost, they that are saved unto the resurrection of life, and they that are lost unto the barrenness of damnation, that in the spiritual unity of believers in our Lord Jesus Christ, with equality across racial, gender, and class differences. So this is our statement of faith. And we've got a lot going on in the news. We always do. I'm going to go ahead and pop ahead here to the About section, though. Again, Brian Gibson is our founder. He was born in Traverse City, Michigan, to a Navy career to a Navy career family and raised all over the United States. He was an Army guy. He was was in Seattle, Washington. I think it's hilarious, mainly because he doesn't swim so well, where he served for 26 years as a combat medic. So there's a lot of information available here if you want to know more about our president and founder, Brian Gibson. He has quite the story. If you haven't had a chance to speak with him, let me know if you would like to have that conversation, because I would be happy to do what I can to get you in touch with him. And again, right on the website in the About section here, you can go ahead and fill that out so that you can also get in touch with our organization. Volunteering. We need volunteers. Did I not say that loudly enough? We need volunteers. If you're hearing this, if you're in earshot, please actually take a moment and think about what that means. It could be as simple as being on here with us, whether it's on screen or in the background, and helping us out with this podcast that we do. It could mean you are specifically located in a place where you can physically go to Fob Rush and put some time in on location there in any of a bazillion different possible ways. It could mean that you are somebody who's good on a computer and have a skill that you could share in some fashion. Maybe you're great with Excel spreadsheets and could donate an hour or two to get something organized that would be very helpful for the mission. You know, who knows? There's the possibilities are endless, and we do need more hands. Honest to goodness, you've heard this. More hands make lighter work. We have too few hands right now doing the work of many, and we do need to reach out and ask yourself, are you somebody who could do something for this mission? Do you know somebody who this mission speaks loudly towards, and perhaps they just haven't heard of us yet? I've said this before, that I do not want Project Die Hard to be the best kept secret. We are doing this to help get the word out of what is Project Die Hard. People haven't heard of us yet. A lot have. A whole lot of people have heard about us, but not enough. We need more volunteers. We need more donors. We need to get this in the hands of those that can benefit from this. So volunteer. Consider what it could be to volunteer with us. And they're actually, again, our crew made it so easy to do that. You can volunteer, or you can either offer to volunteer by filling out the form online, or you can simply send an email. Again, he made this simple: volunteer@projectdiehard.org. You can just send an email to that email address and ask some questions. All you have to do is reach out. We will get back with you, and we would be more than happy to have conversation about what we're all doing, what it all looks like, what is the possibility. Until we have that conversation, it's hard to know, right? So please consider what you might be able to do with us. It's a great group. I wouldn't be here if I didn't have a huge appreciation for our veterans, for what this mission stands for all the things surrounding this. I mean, Honestly, ask anybody I know. I am way too busy. I have more stuff on my plate than I know what to do with. Things fall off my plate because I don't have enough time to do all the things I'm doing. But I am here. Why am I here? Because it's too important of a mission for me to not offer what I can. I am able to be here and help with this podcast and get the word out with what we are doing. I'm here doing it. You could join me. It's fun, actually. Doing something like this, if you've never helped out with a podcast before, we actually could teach you the behind the scenes skills. We could use another person or two with doing that. We could use somebody who can line up guests for us on these Monday night shows. We could have, oh my gosh, there's all sorts of pieces where even if you had an hour a week, an hour a month, whatever that might look like, could make a difference, could make a big difference. So think about what that might look like. One other thing I want to share. I am going to go ahead and share my screen again. And I think it would be important to know where to go to come up with information about this organization. So I am going again here to YouTube. One of the things that we are doing with this podcast and with a lot of things that we're doing, one way that we get the word out is by doing this. And it is live streamed to many different platforms. One of them is YouTube. Not everybody knows how to find us. So let's just take a moment. I want to show you how to find Project Die Hard. So if you just go to YouTube, just enter in youtube.com. Pretty straightforward. If you search for Project Die Hard, just type, I recently did it, so it was at the top of my search there, but type in Project Die Hard and search for us. There's our logo. And right here, you could click on that particular link if you want. I just clicked directly on, let me go back to it, directly on this. This is the channel. So Project Die Hard, you know our logo. It's right here on my shirt. It's right there on the screen. If you click on that, that's where this is the Project Die Hard channel. There is a whole lot of videos in here. If you want to go back and find videos that have been uploaded, if you want to see all our past live presentations we've done on here, there's a bunch. So go ahead and you can see our past updates. And this button right here, I'm already subscribed. So that's why it says past tense, subscribed. I am one of the 37 subscribers right now. Are you? I want to see before the night is done, this number go up from 37. All you have to do when you go here and you're not subscribed, it will give you the option to click on that button to subscribe to this pod or to this channel. Obviously, the podcast happens on here. So this is a great way to support the mission. In the long run here, once we do have enough subscribers and enough hours listened to, there are ways that the Project Die Hard would be able to actually end up making money through this channel. Honest to goodness, we're a little ways away from that yet, but I'm telling you how to help us out with that. If you do nothing else, go to the YouTube channel like this, go there and subscribe. That helps us. Just doing that. I believe the magic numbers, 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watched hours in the past year of video content on our channel, and then we qualify for being able to get ad revenue through YouTube. We are here doing this anyway. We will continue doing this. If we can make this be a way for funds to be raised, very simply, I look forward to that time happening. We are still young in the world of this is our channel. So that's why we only have 37. But realistically, I think at this point we've had more than 37 subscribers. I'm sorry, I think we've had more than 37 people on this podcast. So I need to go back and give a little elbow to those who've been on here and ask them sincerely, please go look us up again. Hit that subscribe button so that we can keep growing what we are doing here. And as I'm saying that, I am going on and I am copying the link and I'm putting that right in the chat here. So if anybody is watching this right now, if you can see, I just put that in the chat. I'm also putting that right up on the screen. So if you search for Project Die Hard, you easily will come up with that. Or you can see on that website, as it's listed there, it says the @ Project Die Hard 2536. That you can even type that in if you like. It'll get you there. So one way or another, there's many different routes to get you to the channel directly, or eventually, or again, reach out to me, Susan at projectdiehard.org. I'm happy to walk you through any of that. So easy to hop on, even like a Zoom session or whatever works best, and we could get you there and walk you through it all. Most of you probably know how to do that, but I'm just offering because I don't want there to be any barriers, period. So one other resource that I want to definitely make you aware of is our Facebook group as well. So I am just going to go ahead and bring up Facebook. Whoops. What did I just do? Give me 1 second. Quick technical glitch on my end. I just got to go ahead and pull that up. Okay. Wow. That is all right. Facebook's being weird today. That's all right. Give me 1 second here and I will get, I have no idea why Facebook's being weird on me today. All right. So I guess as you come into Facebook, you're going to be coming in directly to my page. I was not expecting that. I was just trying to go a little bit more in general to Facebook, but you get my page instead. How's that sound? That's just weird. Maybe it's because I am live streaming myself and now I can see me right on the screen. How you like that? You could do the same thing if you want. Wherever you are on Facebook, go to that top bar here where it says search Facebook, type in Project Die Hard. You can type it in as one word like that, no space, just Project Die Hard. Again, this is something where I'm already following and everything, so it's coming right up super simply and fast for me. But if you haven't been on here yet, just type in Project Die Hard with no space in between. This is what you should see. And it shows I'm already following, but go ahead and click right on it. That gets you to one of our easiest places to keep up with what's happening at Project Die Hard. So again, you can see right on here, the same thing that the website shows, that we are a faith-based, scripture-led veteran nonprofit, and we work with the blessings we receive, whatever that may be. And we are constantly asking, pray, volunteer, share, and donate. And all donations go to bring hope to veterans. And we do provide complete financial transparency with what's going on. So no fear in all of that. As you scroll down, look at that. You see my mug on there again. And this is, I just want to make sure that you all know how to get to our information. So I know we do have one thing I'm scrolling down on purpose trying to find, because we have, actually, let me just pop over to the photos. And yes, you get to play right along with me here. Photos. There is, this is the one I'm looking for. This is one of our big announcements. This is huge. This is coming up in, let's see, what are we down to now? 11 days. If you are anywhere in the vicinity of Marion, Illinois, we need you to listen up and show up. Are you ready for this? There is a meeting taking place with Congressman Mike, and again, if I'm mispronouncing, my apologies. I'm not from Illinois, so I believe it's Mike Bost. So Congressman Mike Bost, Representative Dale Fowler, and Representative Paul Jacobs. There is a meeting taking place on July 26th at 1000 hours at, here's the address, 600 Halfway Road in Marion, Illinois. I'm going to say that again. July 26th at 10 a.m., 600 Halfway Road, Marion, Illinois. Please show up. You don't have to necessarily say anything. You don't have to do. The more people we can have there showing support for Project Die Hard, the better this will go for Project Die Hard. You know how this works when you're talking with politicians, yes? We love our politicians. I want to say we always do, but they can't always make the right. Well, I almost said that poorly. They do the best job they can to make right decisions. They also have to work within the means that they have available to them. We are reaching out to them so that they understand Project Die Hard, so that they understand our needs, and they understand what we are offering. If they understand how many it will benefit, if they can understand how much this mission needs their backing, that will speak loudly. If we have a lot of people there in support of what's going on with Project Die Hard, that will speak loudly to them. That they have to work very much within the whole numbers game. If they only see that, if they visually can see that's going to help one person, they might not take it as seriously as if they see 50 people standing in the parking lot, 500 people. You name the number. Where does it hit that tipping point of they're going to sit back and say, oh, these people are my constituents, and they're telling me that this, what Project Die Hard is doing, is going to make a difference? I better pay attention. Please, if you're anywhere in the area, come and show up on July 26th at 10 a.m. at 600 Halfway Road, Marion, Illinois. I'm going to read the rest of this on here. Come and see why you need to be there and why your help is needed. So again, after that, you can see between noon and 3 o'clock for us. I'm speaking civilian speak here. So between noon and 3 p.m., go to Fob Rush. There will be tours taking place. There will be, it says right on there, light snacks and some refreshments available. Find out more about why we're here. Find out more of what's happening at Fob Rush. There will be that open house taking place after the meeting. Be at the meeting. Be at both, but be at the meeting. 10 a.m. on July 26th. Okay, so do you know why July 26th is a big deal? Total random, as far as I'm understanding, the fact that this meeting ended up being set for July 26th is, I think it's kind of, in my mind, a bit of fate is going in there, because July 26th is actually the anniversary date of the Americans with Disabilities Act being signed into law. In 1990, that is when the president signed that bill into law, so that the Americans with Disabilities Act actually is a thing, right? So this is the anniversary date of it, when this meeting is going to take place, 34 years after the ADA became a law. And I think there's something to that. As the story goes, the whole reason why, not the reason why, but one of the reasons why it was pushed forward as strongly as it was at that time was in huge thanks to our veterans, to our military, because that is something. There were stories of wounded and injured vets that literally were crawling up the steps to get into our government buildings that did not have a ramp, that did not have an accessible entrance to the building. And our politicians had to look at that and realize these guys have been injured. How many more have been killed in the line of duty, and they can't even get to my office to come talk to me. Something as simple as passing the Americans with Disabilities Act gave a way for that to happen. It gave that strength and that backing so that buildings need to have accessible ramps. There needs to be a way for and it's not just for our veterans, but for everybody to be able to get into a building. And that's just one small facet of what that is. I would think at this point, most everybody has heard of the Americans with Disabilities Act. And it is something, you know what? There's parking spaces that have that logo on it that show that this is an accessible parking spot. That's all part of this. There's designated places where if you have an accessibility issue, you can have a way to actually get to where you're going the same as I can. I do not have accessibility issues. I can walk on my own 2 feet, right? So I can walk from my vehicle wherever I'm parked in the parking lot, and I can go up the steps into that building. The day comes I'm in a wheelchair, story changes. I actually heard, of all things, I heard a comedian recently who happens to be a guy with cerebral palsy. So he obviously he's never been served in the military because he has some physical limitations that don't allow that. He can walk, but he's got some of the typical nuances that come with cerebral palsy, with lack of mobility in his arm and that type of thing. And he was able to poke some fun at the whole concept of accessibility, and I found his humor to nail it. And I will come back to that because that is something where one of his lines I had in my head a moment ago and I just lost. So I will have to come back to that. I know I do see that Kurt is joining us and give me a thumbs up when you're ready to actually come on in here and join the conversation. Oh, he got a thumbs up right away. So I'm going to bring Kurt right on in here to join the conversation. Kurt, actually on my screen, you're over here. If you haven't figured it out, here, you know what? Let me take that off of there. You notice same last name, right? So this is my husband. I assume people that have been following us would know that at this point, but maybe not. I'm not sure. Kurt is also an ambassador with Project Die Hard. He is the one that first met Brian. And if it wasn't for what he's all been doing these past several years, I don't know when we would have actually crossed paths with Brian. But Kurt, actually, I wonder, I'm kind of going back in a little bit of history here. Share the story. How is it that you first met Brian, and what is it that brought us together from the beginning piece? Because I know you both were on a podcast. Can you share the story?
Sure. Yeah, basically in business networking through the Happy Neighborhood Project, you know, Brian and I were both networking in the community and these Zoom meetings and everything. And, you know, pretty much I didn't know that he also, at the time that I was on the podcast or live stream, Facebook Live, he was also invited. And the timing of it all, the lady that had us both on with her live stream, you know, I just was on there, invited at the time, and connected in and got live streaming with her. And so talking away about everything. And then all of a sudden she was getting sensitive to the time because Brian was waiting a while to get on it. And so with him waiting, I'm like, well, who's waiting? And then she said, Brian Gibson with Project Die Hard, who I didn't know at the time. But when I was getting the introduction of Project Die Hard being a veteran service organization and, you know, serving veteran suicide and all that, I'm like, wow, I was talking too long, you know, talking way too much. And so I'm like, yeah, definitely, you know, take it over, let Brian tell the story. And so after that live stream, Brian invited me to talk on the phone after the live stream. And I'm thinking we talked for like an hour or something like that. And basically as a result of that coincidence, you know, I pretty much became ambassador right away a couple of years ago. And it's just been a evolving process. So here we are today.
Excellent. So, and what role, I know I talked on here earlier about volunteering with this organization. You and I both are ambassadors and we both work with the podcast. If somebody is not familiar with Project Die Hard and they are saying, volunteer, huh? What the heck could I do? What would you say to them?
I would say it's an all hands on deck initiative. If you've got an idea, let's do it, because we need everybody to think of how they could help the nonprofit. Nonprofits are companies, a nonprofit company or corporation. And so like all business operations, we need things on the human resources side of it, recruiting side of it, bookkeeping, accounting, the taxes need done, and we have services, to do all this stuff. But, when we're trying to improve the future and make a sustainable future, it pays to have additional offers and be able to compare and, figure out if we're doing the best we can, for veterans, marketing wise. When you and I got set up, we got set up with shirts like what you got on, and we got business cards, stuff like this. So, here's your business card, join the fight, so depending on what you want to do. And like right here at the podcast, you and I are doing this podcast, just you and me, and you did the first half all by your lonesome. Hopefully we had a few people watching and listening here. And so we're in this to grow the podcasting team. So, whether it's operations, whether it's volunteering on the grounds in Illinois, if people can make it to McCann, Illinois, whether it's scouting out future opportunities for where we're going to have properties in the future, in other states of the U.S., if there's an international opportunity to this, like we're teamed up with the Disability Channel out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And so we're tracking to ride the bandwagon with them on the way to the Invictus Games, which is, I call it Paralympics for injured and wounded service men and women, so basically our injured, wounded veterans, are going to be playing sports out of Whistler, Canada. And, all that came through networking, and that came through LinkedIn, actually, with what you were talking about, what we do on the ADA side of things, just kind of paying attention to disability services. Basically 4.5 years ago, I found the Disability Channel LinkedIn. So I happened to be doing my work on LinkedIn and saw this opportunity with the channel. So the more people that are involved with eyes and ears and just their attention to things, like earlier today, I was on an Alignable event and was in one of the breakout rooms, one of the one-to-one conversations on Alignable, and told the lady what we're doing, and she admires what we're doing here. She asked me, like, how do you reach the veterans? I'm like, through people like you, because if you like what we do and you share what we do, now there's a chance for more veterans to hear about us. And then non-vets or veterans and non-vets alike, hopping in on board here to be of service and to handle the legwork, communications, emails, telephone calls. I mean, you name it. There's so many things we could be doing here, and just being, a mouthpiece, or in the work that you do, just checking in to see if people know about Project iHeart, and 999 times out of 1,000, people don't know about us, and you're doing us a great service by letting them know what you know, and then having people be in touch with us that we can tell more of the story. And if it gets really deep and involved, well, then we kind of schedule something out for Brian Gibson to circle around and make sure we're dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's and not missing a beat.
Well, and you brought up the Invictus Games. If you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen on that. And I think this would be an amazing thing for everybody to be aware of, because I was not all that aware of it until it came through the Disability Channel, and they were saying, yeah, we got this cool thing coming up here. You see it right on the screen there, February 8th through the 16th, 2025. So next February, The Invictus Games will be in Vancouver. What does that mean? There's so much here. Vancouver Whistler 2025. Will offer a global platform to expand the range and profile of winter adaptive sports. With deep respect, I'm also pleased to share that the games in Canada will be held in partnership with the First Nations in the spirit of truth and reconciliation with Indigenous communities. And that is a quote from Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex. He is the patron of the Invictus Games Foundation. So this is going to be absolutely amazing. This is not a new thing. It may be a new thing to some of us, but overall, this is not a new thing. Last year, it was held in Dusseldorf, Germany. In 2020, it was, The Hague. I don't know how to pronounce it. My apologies. That's one I'm going to have to find out more about so that I can do better with where exactly that's located. In 2018, it was in Sydney. I'm assuming that is, down under. Sydney, Australia. In 2016, it was in Orlando, Florida. It was in the United States, and I didn't even know about it. That is honestly a little aggravating. I wish there was more known and more out there. And next, somehow this is out of order here. In Toronto in 2017, and this is where it began, in London in 2014. There's more information in here about hosting games. So what we do as far as the aims and origins, our impact, how we work. There's information here on, my computer is not scrolling down to see what the rest of these are right now. My apologies. Let me just click right in here. It is just taking a moment to load, but aims and origins. Our mission is to inspire international communities through the power of unconquered human spirit. You can see right in here some different physical challenges that you see among the veterans that are participating here. Through sport, we change lives and save lives. Returning from deployment, I'm just going to read this for those who aren't able to see the screen. Returning from deployment in Afghanistan, Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, watched as the coffin of a Danish soldier was loaded aboard for repatriation alongside 3 injured British soldiers. That moment had a profound impact on him, and following a visit to the U.S. Warrior Games in 2013, he was inspired to create the International Invictus Games to celebrate the unconquered human spirit and shine a spotlight on these men and women who served. The Invictus Games Foundation offers a recovery pathway for international wounded, injured, and sick servicemen and women. We collaborate to provide opportunities for post-traumatic growth, enabling those involved to reclaim their purpose, identity, and future beyond injury. Isn't that what our organization is about? Isn't that what Project Die Hard Mission Monday is? Not Mission Monday, but what Project Die Hard's mission is all about. So, and with that, we do have another guest here that is, I'm so happy to say, is joining us tonight. We have Santa Papa John coming on in here. So I'm going to bring him in to join the conversation. How are you doing tonight, Santa?
Good evening, young lady. How are you?
I am amazing. I'm so glad you're here.
Me too. I got a little held up. I was going to be on here a little bit earlier, but I had some issues with uploading my news stories to, YouTube. So it was fighting back on me because I did something different this time.
That's okay. Well, tell us a little bit more about what you're all up to with that.
Well, I have started a new, hopefully, tradition for a lot of families. I am sitting in my big recliner, reading some Christmas stories to the children. And I'm doing that twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays. And, I'm going to experiment. Last week I did it, and I did one story. And I got some good response, and they're starting to build up. And this week I'm doing 2 stories at one time. So we're going to see how that goes and see what kind of excitement builds there.
Excellent. I love it. So if somebody wants to hear your stories, how do they find that?
Well, on YouTube, it's Santa Papa John. And on TikTok, it's Santa Papa John.
Well, that's simple.
Hello.
I love it.
I try and make everything as simple as possible. You know, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Geez, I just started one on, the big LinkedIn. I just finally started a business page that says Santa Papa John. You know, so all of them are the exact same one.
Awesome. So smart. Keep it simple. People
Keep
can
it
find
simple.
it and enjoy it that way. That's
Absolutely.
perfect.
So you've been on here all night by yourself, or you had some other visitors?
Kurt was on for a little bit here earlier as well. But it's mostly been me. I've actually taken this chance to be a little bit educational about how to find, kind of like what I was just asking, how do we find you? How do you find Project Die Hard? Where are we? If you go out on Facebook, on YouTube, where are we? And a little bit more about what we're all about. And I was just sharing about the Invictus Games too.
I just caught part of that. And the Hague, I believe, is in Copenhagen.
That's where it is. Okay. See, you would know.
Well, you know, I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's where it was.
Awesome. That makes actually a lot of sense that that's where it would be. So I appreciate the insights there.
Absolutely. So what's going on in your world?
Oh my goodness. We do have you heard about the big meeting that's coming up on July 26th? Ooh, okay. Nope. Let me pull that up so I can share that. Is it still on my screen?
Meeting concerning
Project Die Hard.
Woo!
All right, here it is.
Big potential announcement.
This is good stuff. It is here.
And there's Mr. Kurt joining us now.
Sorry, I gotta give you the right screen here.
There you go. We gotta huddle around Sue's show and tell.
Absolutely.
Actually, Kurt, start giving a tease of what exactly it is, because I gotta refine my screen. I had it up and it went poof.
That's because Kurt got on the screen, you know.
I think I found it now.
How's Kurt doing today?
He poofed in.
Pretty good. Yeah, we had quite a day today.
Awesome. Me too. I had my bi-weekly, bi-monthly, whatever you want to call it, nice little podcast, and we had an amazing conversation with some ladies, and we got to chit-chat not only about my ideas but their ideas and how we can help each other. And that's a big part of the networking. It's not just me, it's what we, just like Project Die Hard, and Brian says it's all about the team. Well, I've got some new stuff that I'm building on and some old stuff that I'm tweaking. So I'm opening up some more doors to some more incredible people to join the ranks and create some positive, happy, joyful memories.
That is so perfect. So
what
are you guys? Here we go.
There you go.
My screen, which means actually when I thought I was sharing my screen earlier, I made a mistake and people were not seeing my screen earlier because I just realized what I did wrong. So anyone who was watching earlier at the show, my apologies. I was going along like, look at this, look at that. They didn't see it. So I have to figure out a way to fix that for next time. But this is our big announcement here for a meeting coming up on July 26th. Anybody who is in the vicinity of Marion, Illinois needs to be there. Forward Operating Base Rush is also having an open house afterwards, but the meeting itself is with 3 very prominent politicians, and hopefully will bring some big things forward here with the connections that are. There's a huge amount of potential here, right? So Congressman Mike Bost, Representative Dale Fowler, and Representative Paul Jacobs are all going to be meeting with Brian Gibson and talking all things Project Die Hard. We need to come and support the organization, show up. I was saying earlier, can you imagine if imagine the difference of impression it will be on these gentlemen if we had 5 people show up, or 50 people, or 500 people. If we have more and more people filling the room, filling the parking lot, coming out and showing support for Project Die Hard, imagine the message that sends to the gentlemen and how that may impact their decisions that they can make to the benefit of what we're trying to do. They have a lot of opportunities that they could share our direction. Basically, there's so many possibilities, and with them being in that government role, they can really make a positive, massive impact on this organization. And that's what this is all about, is seeing what's possible, where are we at, where are we going, and what can they do with us.
That could potentially be big, 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 big.
They're already familiar with us. I know Dale Fowler actually has been at FOBRUSH previously, so he has more insight than the other two at this point. So I am so encouraged to know that this meeting is happening, and after the meeting takes place at 10 o'clock, again, the address is 600 Halfway Road in Marion, Illinois. From there, there is an open house taking place at Forward Operating Base Rush, which is the other address on the screen there, the 189 Haven of Love Drive. That is FOBRUSH, and there will be from noon until 3 o'clock the opportunity to get a tour of the grounds, to see what the building is like, to see what's there now, because there's a lot going on there already, but there is a lot that still needs to be done in order to do all the things that this mission is meant to do.
Absolutely. And like our fearless leader always says, every penny, every nickel, every dime counts, and it all goes towards the main mission and the main goal.
And there's so much coming together. There's a lot. Oh my gosh, there's so much happening. I wish Brian could be here himself. I know he wishes he could be here himself tonight, but it just was not in the cards for right now. So that, which is fine. That's why we are here, and that's why we have a team. That's what makes the team so important. It's not reliant on a person in order to move forward. It is a whole team going on, and our team needs to grow because there is too much for the few that are here now. It's growing quickly, and we need to get that support beyond just those that are here now. So we are looking for more ambassadors. We're looking for the volunteers, whether it's an hour a day, an hour a week, an hour a month. If it's even an hour sometime this year, that all makes a difference.
Mr. Kurt, what is the update on the is it the coffee can, fill the coffee can competition? What is up with that, and when does it end? Or if it has ended, please remind me.
Yes, it has ended. It went from Memorial Day to the 4th of July. So Sue, I believe that the numbers are still being made official or something like.
Yeah, as Brian always says, the bean counters have to still finish counting all the beans. So they're working on that part.
I see. There we go.
So I believe as of last Monday, they still had maybe 4 more of the actual physical cans to pick up. I believe that's the number. And I know they had all the virtual cans out there where people could do online donations. So I'm not sure how it works to get all the numbers gathered, but there's somebody in that role, and they're working at it as quickly as they can. And I guarantee when we know who the winner is of who has raised the most to get that traveling trophy at their location for this upcoming year, that we will definitely be talking about that here on the program. So hopefully it'll be sometime in the next couple of weeks or so.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And by the sounds of it, it was a very positive, fruitful, little fun competition.
It's amazing. I love those physical cans, being that we had those in locations that are in the vicinity there of FOBRUSH and between McKenna, Illinois and Paducah, Kentucky, all those local-ish locations. I'm just picturing the can with the sign on it talking about what is Project Die Hard, Do you know how many eyeballs got to see that over the course of that month?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I've said before, we cannot be the best kept secret. People need to know that we exist and why we are here and what we're trying to do, and that gives people that reassurance of what this is and why it's easy and important to hop in and join the motion forward here.
Absolutely. Because we're trying to cover a lot of people that need our assistance, because somebody seems to be dropping the ball on them that shouldn't be, but we won't get into that for now. But the reality of it is, we have a brother, we have a sister, we have a cousin, we have an aunt, we have an uncle, down all the way down the line, that is affected with this, or that has contributed to going overseas, or been in the service of some sort of way. Those are the people that we all know somebody that's being affected, that can use the wonderful services. And more importantly, maybe it's just a big shoulder to talk to listen to scream at, to, whatever the case may be, that these veterans need our support and need our help.
That is the message of hope right there, coming right from Santa Papa John himself.
Well, I listen every now and then, and I understand and know how important this mission is. The politics, unfortunately, have to be pushed to the side, and whether they're going to start contributing or not, there is still a bigger ball game that needs to be addressed, because these people that require the services are someone we know. I might not know them personally. Sue might not know them personally, but Sue might know someone. Kurt might know someone that knows someone that knows someone that is affected by this. Pandemic, whatever nasty word that you want to put associated with the lack of services that these veterans are not receiving.
Yeah, it's amazing. There's a definite need here, and that's what we're doing our best to fill that need. And we appreciate you being here. We appreciate that we actually are Santa approved. That's huge.
There you
Thank
go.
you for all that you do for this mission. You are important here, and we definitely do appreciate you.
Well, thank you. I try and contribute when I can, and boost when I can. And people, another thing that all our listeners can do, when they see a post, like my post that I do on Sunday where I support Small Business Sunday, it doesn't cost you $1. It doesn't cost you a quarter, nickel, penny, whatever, to like, share, and comment on a post. Because the more word we can get out, the more this is shared, the bigger the reach is going to get, the bigger the contributions are going to become, the more veterans we can help.
That's exactly right. You nailed it. Thank you so much. Actually, Kurt, I'm just going to give you the mic here for 30 seconds for your last message for the evening yourself. That magic mute button to do its thing. Uh-oh, I think he is frozen up here. Give him just a second.
He didn't feed the squirrel.
Oh, man. Oh, don't say that word around our dog. She knows that word.
We got a mama raccoon coming up now with 6 little ones coming up in the backyard.
Oh, no.
Talk about wrestling and arguing, and it's so hilarious to watch. It's very enjoyable.
As long as they stay where they're supposed to be, they're adorable.
Absolutely. Kurt's back with us. You got 30 seconds.
I was just passing the mic to you for a 30-second final note from you.
He's
All
hesitating.
right. So yeah, the purpose of our endeavor here is for all you veterans out there that are, living in this dark place of fighting the demons and, struggling, with life and PTSD and whatever it may be. We're here because we are here to spread a message of hope and, to have our prayers with you and to, as Santa Papa John was talking about, we're here to lend our ear, and we're always here to call out for more, to be our listeners here through Project iHeart, and to grow this response, because you're not alone. There are too many of your brothers and sisters who are veterans fighting this issue of veteran suicide, and so we all need to do it together. And that includes you. So whether you're a veteran in these dark places or you're a non-veteran, this show is all about you, whoever you are out there watching and listening. My name again is Kurt, Kurt. You can email me here at Project iHeart, kurt@projectiheart.org. And my phone line is always here for anybody in the world that would like to talk about this business of saving the lives of our servicemen and women and all of our veterans. Feel free to call me, 372-1754. Again, call or text, or call and text if you'd like, 262-372-1754. I'm here at your service, and I'm looking for more who are willing to say the same. Over to you, Sue.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. I'll leave it with this. I'll give you 4 options of how you can do something for the mission today. Pray, share, volunteer, or donate. Which thing works for you today? And whatever that answer is today might be a different answer tomorrow, might be a different answer next week. But think about what it is that you can do. So simple to do one of those things for the mission. Pray, share, volunteer, donate. Where do you land today? I'm volunteering right here, right now. I'm trying to share out right here, right now. What pieces are you going to be able to do? Because we can all do something to make a difference, and it's easier than you think. So to all those who are doing something for this mission, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. For all you veterans out there, know how much we care, and hope is there. Find your thing. Find what you can glom onto and move forward with. And if you're struggling to find what that is, let us help. Help is out there. Don't give up. Stick with us. We're here for you. And with that, I am excited to say we will be back here next Monday night, same time, same place. So 6:30 p.m. on Monday night for our next Project iHeart Mission Monday update. So until then,